Hello, everyone, and welcome to Third and Wine. I'm Caitlin Brower. I'm so excited to have everyone back. It's been a couple weeks, so I apologize. Just some life updates here. I did a big move. So I moved into a new house with my boyfriend and our dog. So it's been a very, very chaotic couple weeks for me, but I'm so excited to be back and on the pod. You know, tonight's an important episode because I not only been stressed about moving and everything over the last couple of weeks, I am a New York Giants fan, and all of you know. So it's been stressful. There's a lot going on, but I think I brought on the perfect guest tonight to really air it out and just get those emotions out. For some reason, I still have some optimism. Maybe I need to be taken away from the optimism ledge. So with that being said, my guest tonight is probably everyone's favorite Giants fan at this point, and it's Snacks. Snacks, welcome to Third and Wine. I'm so excited to have you. I had you on Real Football Fans in New Jersey, and that was the pod. Had to have you on here, and I think this was just after the game on Sunday. I messaged you immediately, and I was like, it's time. It's time.
It's finally time, right? Well, I will start by saying thank you for having me on, and congratulations on the big move.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that. Although I know you date an Eagle fan, so by association, you're an Eagle fan. So
no, I don't like when you say that out in public, but
well, you know, I'm always going to say it. So
of course you are. Of course.
I mean, it's no filter now. I'm very happy for you, and I'm very happy to be here. The optimism part. What
am I doing? I don't know.
I don't know what you're doing, but I will say, God bless you.
We'll talk about it. We'll definitely get
into it. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We'll definitely get into it. So quickly, can you let my audience know, obviously, who you are, your, the whole ideal of you being a Giants fan, and kind of just where you're at current state with the fandom, yourself, things like that.
Yeah. So obviously everybody that has known me knows I'm a little psychotic.
Okay.
I guess that may be putting it lightly.
It's the right word. It's a good word, I think.
Yeah. Thrown out of the stadium over a dozen times.
Is it really over a dozen times?
It's 13 to be specific. Yeah. It's 13. I've been thrown out of games. But I would say I'm more passionate than I am psychotic.
Someone did just comment on YouTube that you're passionate.
Oh, that's my good friend. My good friend Chris. Yeah, passion is the right word. It's obviously this year has been brutal, and after last year's high of all highs and winning a playoff game for the first time since like Vietnam, it was amazing. So the downfall this year has been brutal, but I've been a fan since I came out of my mother. Is that like socially acceptable to say? I don't even know. But
I think you just say out of the womb now.
Yeah, I that's the word I was looking for, the womb. So when I came out the womb, that's it. And to this day, it's Giants are always number one. But this year, it's really testing my loyalty.
It is.
It's not been easy.
Yeah.
But we'll have a good therapy session right now. So
we will.
I'm very excited to be on. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I have a lot of hard-hitting questions for you, but I think I want to hit you with probably the hardest questions to start.
Do it.
Do you think that you look like Ronald Weasley?
I did see you put that on blast today.
I honestly, there was no other way to promote this episode. There was sincerely no other way.
That was actually hysterical, and it made me laugh out loud when I see it. No, I don't think I look like Ron Weasley. I think
you think you're better looking?
100%. I mean,
okay. What's his real name in life? Something
Rupert.
Rupert. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Rupert.
Uh,
Yeah, you don't look like a Rupert to me. That's the
no,
only thing.
no,
Or a Ronald. Or a Ronald.
no, I look like a Nick. Uh,
Yeah. For like
that's
a
really
snacks, I guess.
or
Yeah.
snacks. Yeah, yep, something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, I don't know if I look like a snack, but I eat a lot of snacks. So no, I don't think I look like him. I just think we share a very similar beautiful hair color.
I
So
think it's red
I
hair.
thought it was
Yeah.
fun to send you that picture when you
It was
asked for
really
one to
like,
promote.
yeah, like I often I'll always reply to people like LOL. Like there are only times where I actually laugh out loud. I did like that was like a spit out my wine kind of moment. Like I really did laugh very hard. So I appreciated that laughter. We all need that laughter at
We
this
do.
time right now. So my real first question is, getting into it, just how are you feeling right now? Like you woke up this morning, you just got back to work, you're hopping on the pod with me. What is like your current feeling about New York Giants football right now?
Miserable.
Miserable.
Yeah, I am. I'm completely. You know what? I shouldn't say so much miserable. I guess at this point, over the last 2 weeks, I've been accustomed to it and expected it.
Okay.
But from where we were to start the year and the excitement that we had to be where we are right now on November 9th is insane to me. Like our season was over essentially after the first week in October, and we have 10 more weeks of this. How are we gonna do this?
Right.
I'm so distraught. I don't even know what to look for anymore. Like we're playing Tommy DeVito as our starting quarterback. I don't understand how it got to this. And I know you're gonna ask that, and I kind of have a couple of reasons as to why. But Caitlin, it's tough. It is very tough. Like Monday mornings have been absolutely
Just
miserable.
upsetting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I work down in South Jersey where, as you know, it's
Eagles
all Philly
fans.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I do is get my chops busted. What am I supposed to do? I have nothing to come back with. They blew us out
But
in the
that's the
playoffs.
thing. Like that's what sucks too about people coming after you. Because what do you expect at this point? There's nothing for us to come back with. It's just
Nothing.
been not
Nothing.
only just like poor. You could blame it on anything at this point, but it's just I don't think anyone. If you're an NFL fan, even if you're a college football fan and you dabble in the NFL, I don't think anyone could have predicted this. Anybody. And so for people to come, I think that's just dumb. Like there's rivalries and like, yeah, you're gonna knock some people around. But for this one, like, congratulations for coming at you because there's just nothing. What are you gonna say? There's nothing to say.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, beat up on the little kid in the schoolyard.
Like great. Like it's
come
because
on.
you don't have a comeback. Because I don't even
Nothing.
know. There are so many things or like so many games that I am watching, and I'm just like, there really are no words.
And you know what? Like my comeback used to be, well, I'm 30 years old and I've seen more Super Bowls in 30 years than you have in your lifetime or whatever.
Right.
But that's getting old at this
It
point.
is.
It's
It is.
getting
And
old.
it's
Like
scary. Yeah.
it is, that it's starting to get to the point where when we're using that argument, we sound like Cowboy fans.
I know.
And that's the last thing I want. So I've stopped with that. But there's nothing. We got to take our beating like adults. That's all we can do.
And we are, but so realistically at this point, like, did you really think this is where we would be? And then I'm asking that putting aside like the wild injuries that we've had, clearly just like our record and play thus far. Like, did you really think this was where we were going to be? And I know you are very pessimistic. So I'm asking you from a realistic standpoint. Did you really think this was it?
I'll take my my reverse jinx, reverse negativity goggles off and tell you.
You are.
I am. I know. But no, never in a million years would I expect this. When we were there, Sunday Night Football, the home opener, September 10th.
Oh, God bless you for being at that game.
Oh, please. I know. I left at halftime. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
From that point on, when it was 40-0, I was like, there's a problem. And I will say, like, going into the year, I did expect a regression, which maybe a little
talk about that a little bit. Like, what type of regression were you thinking?
So I just think like a tougher schedule. We got very fortunate with an easy schedule last year. But then again,
easier, I'd say.
Easier. Yes.
Like the Giants love to get hard schedules. So.
Correct.
I don't know who's creating these schedules, but like I'd like to have a word, to be honest.
No, they like They
Stop giving us Dallas
everybody.
week 1 and stop giving us the
Please.
hardest schedule in the
Please.
NFL.
And then Philly like the last 2 weeks of the year. It's just
That is also like stop. Enough.
It's the same thing every year. But I don't want. I genuinely thought we'd win like 9 games and be a playoff team. But I think a lot of people were expecting, 10 wins and Dan Jones to be great, because he was very good last year. So, but I did expect a little bit of regression just based on the schedule. And while I said an easier schedule last year, I say that in the sense, kind of like, kind of a double-edged sword, because I don't think we were very good last year, like roster-wise. We weren't. Like
we found ways to win.
We found ways to win, and Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are picking up practice squad players like Isaiah Hodgins and Nate McLeod. They were contributing, and they were being good, good pieces to a winning team. But we were also beating teams that, we lost by 2 scores to Seattle. We lost to Philly. We lost to Dallas twice. Like, we weren't beating the teams that we'd like to, but that was okay because our roster wasn't up to speed. This year, I thought we came into the year with a much better roster. Darren Waller is an upgrade. Bobby Okereke is a huge upgrade. You got year 2 of Kayvon Thibodeau. You figure Evan Neal, which we'll get to, and we figure he'll take a jump. Daniel Jones, second year of the system, and nothing came to fruition, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind. It genuinely does. I can't believe we're sitting here at 2-7. Season's over, and we may not win another game. Like, that is just, it's insane to me. So no, I didn't expect it. I would have expected 9-8, 7 seed. Like, that would have been the floor because the NFC's weak, and I thought we had a much better team. But to be where we are now, holy hell! It's very hard to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, too, with like the Jets loss, like I know that's a lot of like salt in the wound, but that was even a game where we could have turned things around. So obviously, I'm a wildly optimistic Giants fan. Everyone knows that. If you listen to my old podcast, Real Football Fans New Jersey, and then now at Third and Wine, I always have been, because I am. It sucks to feel like this. So I am always looking like on the brighter side of things. And you could definitely tell, like, even like people like professionals in this world. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to bring up one radio station because I'm not listening to them anymore. But like,
they suck.
You just can tell when people aren't actually watching and they're not pulling apart, because it can suck and this feeling sucks, but there are certain things that you can latch onto. So unfortunately, though, up until the Jets game, like it's very much on a down spiral, because that was the game where we could have won and turned things around. But at 2-7, 10 weeks after the season, we're halfway through the season. I don't know. And the statement from you, we might not win another game, is very accurate. And to speak my truth of that, it can be true, is wild. Like, it really is. But
it's horrible. And I will say, you are the most optimistic Giant fan I've ever met. Because every time I say something negative on Twitter, you will always reply and say, "Shut the fuck up."
Or like, do you smile ever?
Yeah. Do you smile? Is there anything that makes you happy? Yeah. And then I usually reply with no.
No.
But no, you're 100% right. Like, that Jet game, we should have won. We make a 35-yard field goal. We win. We're 3-5, and things are totally different.
We're different. It's one game.
It's completely different. And even the Buffalo game too, like, we were 14, 15-point dogs in that game. We should have won. And we screwed up at the end of the first half, and a bad missed call on the Waller catch at the end of the game. Like,
but I want that game for the Giants as well. I think that's also something shitty about this season, is that we're losing awfully. Like, I want that. If we lost these 7 games in that Bills game time after time, I'd be less sad right now.
I could live with that. Competitive to the very end. Yeah. We're getting blown out.
We are.
We're getting blown out. That's the problem. That's the biggest issue. And it's not just a quarterback thing. Like, then you start worrying about the defense quitting and the guys quitting, and then how does Brian Daboll really kind of keep everybody together? And to me, that's going to be a very big focal point for the rest of the year. Is him keeping that locker room together. And people clamoring on social media that Dable and Shane got to go. Stop.
No,
Stop.
get the fuck out of here.
We cannot keep doing this every 2 years.
Again, I'm not recycling coach after coach.
No.
I'm not doing it.
No,
so
we
we can't be
can't.
that team. And I understand the Daniel Jones conversation is on the table now with injuries, but we also can't be the quarterback recycle team either. I'm sorry. I'm not doing either. Like I'm really not. I'm not being either.
If we gave Dave Gettleman 4 years, then Joe Shane should get 14 years. Like at that point.
Yeah.
Because he's shown that he can put together a team that his coach likes. And Brian Dable won Coach of the Year last year, won a playoff game on the road. Yeah. Like they went to the second round of the playoffs.
Like shit's bad right now. Like you can't tell me like at your job when shit's going down, you're like, like let me try to figure this out. Like you don't just get fired because I don't know, everyone around you is doing a bad job. Like relax, pump it. Like no one was ready for this.
People should stop that nonsense.
Yeah. So I am ready for your commentary here. I will not take any offense to it. I don't think my feelings can get hurt anymore by one of my main guys. I do love him. I am also thinking of kind of resetting my values and my thoughts. So
you should be.
Snacks, Evan Neal, just spill those guts to me. So
I don't think there has been a Giant I've hated more than Evan Neal. Okay. I have grown to despise him. One, let's start off. One, he sucks. Okay. He's a terrible football player. Terrible.
Okay.
No. Well, you cannot argue it. He's terrible.
Okay.
He's terrible. I know you're an Alabama fan. I get it. That's why your alliance to him is always going to be the Alabama. But you're also a Giant fan. So when you use your two eyes, I see you wear glasses. So when you look at the TV and you're using those four eyes to watch football players, how on God's green earth can you tell me that man has any semblance of athletic ability to play the offensive line? He's terrible, terrible. And then, you know what pisses me off the most? I would actually try. It would almost be the reverse of hate Evan Neal because he's so bad, but let's cheer him on because he's a Giant and try and get his confidence up. He came after us. He came after the fans and called burger flippers, hot dog flippers. That is scummy. We pay a lot of money. Me and my brother pay thousands of dollars to sit in that stadium all year. We pay hundreds of dollars to eat food in that stadium. That the burger flippers behind the counter serve us. The fact that he did that disgusts me. There has been no improvement nowhere. I caught myself. I was going to say a bad word and I didn't. I didn't say it.
It's explicit.
I didn't say it. I can't stand him. I really can't. I'm sorry. I want nothing more. When we drafted him, I was so excited. I was like, we have our bookend right tackle with Andrew Thomas for the next 10, 15 years. I was so excited. And I was okay. With his struggles the first 8 games last year. He was a rookie. Andrew Thomas, the same thing. 8 games, he struggled.
Oh, well, hey, listen, people were in your boat with Andrew Thomas, so I'm not comparing the two of them. I'm just saying that people were going for Andrew Thomas's head and wanted him out of fucking New York right away. So
you're 100% right, but what Andrew Thomas did in his rookie year was improved.
He improved. I'm with you on that one.
Evan Neal got worse. He got worse. And then he started this year getting worse, and then he opened his big fat fucking mouth. When he opened his mouth, then I was done. Now I have no remorse.
So here's my counter for you.
Okay, give me the counter. I am so excited to hear this one.
So I have 2 counters for you. One is on play and one is on you being a big fat baby. So my first counter is that I have allegiance to him from Alabama. And my eyeballs saw him for 4 years play and listen, Alabama produces linemen. Just recently, they're producing quarterbacks for the NFL. Prior to Jalen, Tua, all those guys, they had quarterbacks that were winning national championships and then did absolutely fucking nothing in the NFL. What they produce is linemen on the offensive side and the defensive side. So everyone calls the NFL Alabama U. Yes, it is and look where the dominant players are on the line on both sides. So I do know he's a talented player mainly because of that. Okay. He is very versatile. He is light on his toes. I do not think that he's in the right position on the New York Giants. So I think they need to move him to guard. So or
no,
on
that's
the
what I'm saying.
left-hand
Yeah,
side,
move him
or
inside.
to the left-hand side. Okay, so those are my arguments for you there. For the other comment of him with the burger flippers, I have never seen a fan base flip their mentality when a big old offensive lineman from Alabama came out and called you a burger flipper. You need to get the hell over it. Here's why. Because Giants fans tell players, oh, you got to take that. It's New York media, baby. Don't you shut down. Don't you cry to me. You're a baby. As soon as a player flips and comes back at you, you all shut down and you cried about how much money you spend at games. And you go, this is my salary every year. This is all I do. Don't go to games then, Snacks. I'm sorry. I know. We're all paying money. But I did not send a tweet out, but now everyone's going to see it on the podcast. I don't care. It was probably a really funny tweet. I said, New York Giants fans, when they tell players to suck it up, and it was just like, yay, yay, yay. And then my GIF was of Odell crying, saying when the player comes back saying like,
That's
fuck
good.
you.
That's
so
good.
Am I wrong though I screw Evan Neal's performance. Am I wrong in my counter to you about crying about him being like, you're a burger flipper? He shouldn't have said it. I'll tell you that. Yes.
Okay.
But
You all right. So the thing is, if he wasn't so bad, I wouldn't care. If Andrew Thomas said that, I wouldn't care. The point is, so that's like
he should have said it and then played his best game of his life the next
correct.
weekend.
And then he was
100%.
terrible that same week.
I agree.
Terrible.
With you on that. Yes,
so like
I agree with you on that.
If he was any good, that would go right over my head. Again, if Saquon said it, if AT said it, if Dexter Lawrence said it, I wouldn't have cared one bit. But when you're calling out people hardworking people that pay your salary to go to games and all these things, calling them burger flippers and making it seem like you're 20 times better when
it's New York media though.
Of course though, but he's saying it in the media and then it's coming out. We're New York fans. We take everything personal. Regardless, he shouldn't have said it. He's got to play better.
Agree on that. Yeah.
And then I also want to say Alabama in the NFL, that's over. It's Georgia.
Oh God. Do you want me to come through this computer?
I had to. No, because it was a very good
well,
rebuttal.
It is
that's all I had. So I had to say it.
I appreciate that. No, but I mean that's also a good rebuttal.
And you know how hard it is for me to admit things. So
ding ding. But it's a good rebuttal on your end though, because you look at like the Eagles and they're just all Georgia people. So that's what pisses me off too. But then they also have got a lot of Alabama. So I'm like, why are you doing this to me? You are the Eagles. I despise you. You're bringing on team members that I despise, but you're also bringing on players that I loved in the past. So it's like, oh, hate them. But
yeah, can't win.
We'll see about that. All right. So we're obviously talking about a lot. We've already gotten emotional at this point.
Yeah. I hate you for doing this to me, but continue.
How did we get here? Do you think it's just one thing that spiraled, or were we not ready for this season? I know you already brought up the regression that you had thought with the schedule, but just kind of, is it one thing? Is it what is it?
So, and I've heard this a lot recently, especially shout out to Bobby and Justin on the Talking Giants podcast. They were at every training camp practice and they saw it, and they have recently talked about that training camp was soft. Like they had soft practices, and it was I forget which beat writer said it was like a country club atmosphere. This is the National Football League.
I almost spit out my wine.
Like this is the National Football League. We're running soft practices before the start of the season, and to do something like that, like right away, that's a red flag. Like you need to practice hard. I understand you don't want to get injured. I get that, but you're going to get injured in games no matter what anyway. You need to practice and get yourself acclimated. So I think right away that was a red flag. I also think this team got really complacent and really confident after last year. That team was not supposed to do anything. They were supposed to be a dog shit, brutal shit show of a team. And they went out and they won 9 games and a playoff game. So I think their confidence was sky high, and they thought they were, just head over heels, just better than what they were. So I think those two factors are huge, just from a mindset and how they practice. And then the first drive of the season, we marched down the field, and then there's a blocked field goal. Andrew Thomas rips his hamstring, blocked field goal, run for a touchdown. The season was over right there.
I think I blocked that out of my mind, to be honest.
I've tried. They ran right.
That was like a bad omen. Like that was like the omen for the season. Like
exactly it. That was right there. So like the two things prior to the season that I would contribute to it, soft practice and skyrocket confidence, that they just did not put the time and work in and effort. I mean, I can't accuse it because I don't know. And I'm not going to question their work ethic and whatnot, but it showed week one. So I think it's a culmination of those two things to begin the season, and then right off the rip in week one against your arch nemesis, your rival Cowboys, with half the stadium being Cowboy fans. You drive down the field, you settle for a field goal, which story of the New York Giants. It gets blocked. Andrew Thomas rips his hamstring.
I want to stop kicking field goals, to be honest.
That's it. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
It's interesting. I think both points are very well taken. I was not at training camp, but I've seen the coverage. Yeah, massive shout out, to Bobby and Justin. They do a great job.
Fuck them.
Stop it. You love them. They do a great job though with breakdown to really understand. So, I guess the interesting thing for me listening to that with you is the complacentness. I totally respect and agree with the confidence going into this season, because look at where we ended. But you can't take mediocrity with that. It has to be, if we ended last year not even expecting to do that, I need to come out 300% times more than that. 100% is not going to cut it. Like, you need to go above and beyond. So that's a very interesting point. And I can see that as I'm like wrapping my head around like the last couple of weeks, and even putting that first game aside, because like I said, I think I dug that very down in my memory. Like,
yeah,
so
well, like you're saying, like we put that away, and then we're losing 21-0 to the Cardinals,
but we still are. Yeah.
And then we came back and won, and we had a beautiful second half defense offensively.
Right.
And then week 3, like then it was nothing. So
where is that?
Right. So I think they had, again, I can't speak to it in certainty, but comments made in the offseason, then now during the season, to me, it just feels like there was a sense of complacency and a sense of entitled confidence that they got from an unexpected, very successful year last year. And I think it has shown a little bit.
Yeah. And I think there's a big difference. I like that you use the phrase entitled confidence. I think there's a huge difference between being confident. I was confident coming into this season. I mean, even you were technically saying 9 wins from you. Like, that's confidence right there.
That's like, crazy. I usually predict 1 or 2.
Exactly. So you probably should have done that for this season. We would have been better off.
That's the good confidence. You're right. And I should have, before when I started my rant before about the confidence thing, I should have said entitled first. I genuinely think it was entitled confidence, where I think they went into last year knowing, all right, I don't think we're going to be that good. We don't have this much talent, and holy shit, we're being coached like this, and we're winning 9 games in a playoff game. And then they come into this year like, oh, we're invincible. No, you're not. You're playing a tougher schedule.
No,
you got new players. Like, you got to build on what you built last year, and it didn't come to fruition.
Yeah. So obviously we're halfway through the season, which I read that the other day.
It's crazy,
like,
isn't it?
God, I love football, but I'm just like, I don't even know. So let's do a scale here. How done are you? And my scale is that you're looking to the 2024 draft, or you don't even care about that or next season because nothing can fix this. I gave you a really large scale because clearly you are just the most pessimistic person, miserable person. But I thought it was a good scale.
Yeah, it is a good scale. I can
tell you what I didn't give you any optimism. I didn't give you I'm okay for the next couple of games.
No, I totally understand. Well, I will tell you, I will be watching all 60 minutes of every game. That's not changing.
Oh, never.
That'll never change. I guess I could put it this way, from what I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year, because the playoffs are out of the question. We're not going to the playoffs. Daniel Jones is out. Tyrod Taylor, whoever knows, we'd have to win.
You never know. Every game.
Caitlin, come on, stop. We'd have to win a lot.
You heard it here first, folks. You never know.
All right, well, clip that because if it happens, you'll go viral. What I'm really looking forward to, I'm not. Listen, we're gonna draft a quarterback. I don't think that we're gonna be outside.
I'm just not ready to have that conversation.
I know, and we don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about that. But I will say I am definitely looking at some of the quarterbacks that are coming up because I think it's fair. If Daniel was just playing bad, that's one thing. Maybe I wouldn't look at that. Maybe I'll look at like a Marvin Harrison, like at Ohio State. Guy tore his ACL. We don't even know how he's going to come back.
Exactly.
So it is a fair question, and we more than likely are going to have a very high pick. So it is a good question. Mm-hmm. But what I'm looking forward to most is, of course, I always want to win. I'll never root for a loss. People that are on the Twitter app and social media that are like, "Oh, we need to lose. We need to lose."
No.
Okay, yeah, I get it. You want the better draft pick.
I can't stand this.
I can't sit in front of my TV, stand in front of my TV, and root for the Giants to lose. I can't do it.
No,
it's not my nature. I never will. I don't care. We wanted to lose to get Chase Young a couple years ago, and winning that game was the best thing that ever happened because we got Andrew Thomas.
But also look where Chase Young is now. Look at someone like Isaiah Simmons, Isaiah Simmons is on the Giants now. Great, but
that's what I'm saying. Yep.
People need to understand. I think back to like Josh Rosen, like, guys, come on. Like, there's so many busts out there. Baker's technically Sam like, oh my God, we just need to And I like that you said that I'm going to look at some quarterbacks. Please make it plural. Don't narrow it down to the two names that everyone's seeing there right now. No one expected Daniel Jones to fall to us at that point and what we did there. And for the most part, I think people have been generally happy with what they've seen. It's been a journey, and now we're going to have to face an even bigger journey with him if we continue. But just don't look around. And this is coming from a college football fan. So
yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's been my favorite thing over the years when these guys are getting hyped, and I'm like, all right, let me look into it further, why they're getting hyped. And I'm like, oh, okay. And and then I'm just like, I don't know. And yes, and they turn out to be the biggest bust. So just do your research. Don't just because some guy is hot and he's going to win the Heisman, maybe mid it twice. Just there's other people out there. And
there's plenty.
There's other needs.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And even outside of the draft, what I want to see these last 9-10 games is I want to continue watching Dexter Lawrence play football because it's an art. He is so good. Him and Andrew Thomas, I think maybe the two best players at their position in the league. Trent Williams and San Fran, maybe over Andrew Thomas, but Andrew Thomas is right there. I don't think there's a better defensive tackle in football than Dexter Lawrence right now. He's unbelievable. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing the young guys. I want to see Kayvon keep playing great. I am loving Micah McFadden. He's been awesome.
Oh, a great season so far. Yeah.
So far. Yep. And Deonte Banks is looking like a very promising player. Jason Pinnock has made
great pick. Yeah.
Big plays. Cordell Flott's been played well. Bobby Okereke looks like an awesome signing. I want to see Jalen Hylett go deep. I want to see John Michael Schmitz continue to block people. We do have a good core of young players that I am looking forward to, progressing towards the end of the year. And that's really what I'm looking for. And I mean, listen, Tommy DeVito, he's not anything special as we know, but it would be nice to see him progress over the course of the season and maybe develop into a nice backup quarterback. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think you just answered it, but I did ask, do you have any hope whatsoever?
No.
Not for this season? No.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you. I mean, miserable me would tell you no, but I told you I took off all the misery.
You're still saying no?
No. It's
not even hope for like I said, not even just playoff hope, but just hope in general. Hope to score a touchdown.
I mean, you know what? I will say Sunday will tell us a lot. If Tommy DeVito can navigate an offense.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's a tough defense, if he can navigate and score some points against the Dallas defense, okay, then we can revisit this next year. I'm sorry, next week.
All right.
But no,
So
to answer
you
your
just,
question,
yeah. It's all
I'm
right.
sorry. I know you tried.
No, it's
I know you
okay.
asked me to try and give you. I
Why are
named
you
you.
apologizing?
I named you the young guys that we can have hope for.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next. Like, what are two positives you can take from the season so far? So
Okay.
let's do this. You just named a list of young guys.
Yeah.
That'll be your first positive. What?
Yes.
Give me another positive from the season.
That. Oh God, we've had great tailgates.
Okay. I love that.
No.
I love that for you. I did come to one. It was very
You did,
fun.
yes. You were there for 35 seconds. Yes.
Yes, I was
nice.
there. I know. I had other priorities.
I know
so
you
sorry.
did. I know you did.
I
At least
had to
there was
come
a nice
see-
picture.
I had to come see you guys, though. You know, I'm always there for you. But yes, it looked
so much fun. You guys do
a phenomenal job. Shout out to, Talking Giants and John Boy to do it. Even
Yes.
this year. You guys stepped it up a million times.
Like, love it, love it, love it. So
they're genuinely
the
fantastic.
tailgates are fun. So I will admit,
going to Giants games for
that's what you have to look forward
yeah.
to. There you go. There's your optimism.
Yeah,
There's your
like
optimism.
it just there is. But give me one actual positive of the team, the games.
Yep. So I named a bunch of players. I named a couple on offense and a couple, a little bit more on defense. But so that's my one positive. I think we do have a very good young core, and
Okay.
That's very exciting because I feel like it's been a long time since we can list off 9, 10, 11 guys that we were confident in moving forward that would be on the team and be, staples in the organization for years to come. And I think we have that. So as an overall like total, I got to tell you, I know it doesn't look like it last week. I think it's just the circumstance of Daniel Jones going out and Antonio Pierce and the Raiders just being fired up. I think we have a very young, strong defense that's going to be really good for a while because they are all ascending players. And I think we have a defensive coordinator that's going nowhere. And if he goes anywhere, I'm going to be very pissed because I think Wink Martindale is a fantastic defense coordinator. Yeah, please do not go anywhere, Wink. There is that is a defense to me where your best players are all 26 and under, and they're all getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
So if you're good on that side of the football, which they are, just get some depth pieces, then you can turn your focus to the offensive side where we struggle, and you can focus on that in the offseason and the draft. And then when you put it together, then you get a winning football team. So the fact that our defense is young, it's talented, it's hungry, that to me has been the most positive sign. I know the numbers, it doesn't look great, but our eyes tell us different. They're playing very good football, and
you got to watch. Yep.
You got to watch, right? Don't just read the stat sheet because that'll tell you nothing. When you watch them, you can tell Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be a problem. Dexter Lawrence is a problem. The guy's unbelievable. If we can get Azeez to stay healthy, he's a good football player.
Mm-hmm.
We finally have a linebacking crew in McFadden and Okereke. Like, that is so awesome.
Loving it. Yep.
Deontay Banks is going to be a very good cornerback. Cordell Flott's going to be a good football player. Jason Pinnock has been very good. Like, there are Trey Hawkins. These guys have shown life. That is going to be a defense.
I'm loving the defense. Yeah, I agree.
By next year, like, that is the biggest positive for me.
Okay.
Coming out of this year. And also just, I guess, a tidbit. I really like the cut of Jalen Hyatt's tip. He came out, it's like, oh, he can't run routes. He can't catch the ball. He's caught.
I beg, as an Alabama fan,
him.
I beg to differ.
He's caught every ball thrown to him, and he's run great routes. So that's another positive. But yeah, the defense to me as a whole moving forward with Wink, I think is the biggest positive.
It's a huge positive, definitely.
And we're the New York Giants, so like, we pride ourselves on defense. So that is that makes me very proud. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Coming up on Dallas on Saturday. Saturday. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to the next Alabama game.
Yeah, I see that. They're getting back into the national championship hunt.
We'll see about that.
Slowly but surely.
I love it. Dallas, what is your prediction? Maybe you could do score. You can just do how we'll play, how they'll play, kind of just your overall consensus for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give a score. We're going to lose.
No,
I think we both know that. So I don't need to give a score. I mean, I could easily see it being like 31-6. But I'm not really. Yeah, I mean, if we can kick 2 field goals, but Or if we want to score a touchdown, then
or get an extra point.
Run the worst 2-point conversion I've ever seen in my life. It was like slow motion what they did last week.
Spit out my mind.
It was so bad. But what I would like to see is I'd like to see us get after Dak Prescott. I'd like to see.
I love that. Oh, God.
Like I want to see us get pressure. I want Kayvon. I want that defense not to.
Yeah,
they're not quitters. They're professionals. They're not going to quit.
Yep.
And I want to see them keep it a game until like the third quarter. Like, let's be in it and keep us interested for a while. I'd like to see Barkley run the ball well. I'd love to see Tommy throw the ball around a little bit, get it to Bellinger, get it to Hyatt.
Let the kid fucking throw the ball. That's all I'm saying.
What do we have to lose? Like, let him.
Like, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, but he's already, if they've run it a million times, just let him throw the ball. Let him throw the ball.
Exactly. At that point, like, get Wandale the ball, get Hyatt the ball. Like, those guys are going to be receivers, and get Slayton the ball. Those guys are going to be receivers on our team for years to come. So let's see what they got, throw the ball, and then get pressure on Dak, and then lock down CeeDee Lamb. You can lock down CeeDee Lamb. That's a very good sign. That means Deonte Banks is playing very well. Yeah. So those are really the only things that I could look forward to, because I know we're not going to win, and it's Dallas, and it sucks because you always get up for this game, no matter what. Like, we could be 3-11, but you're always going to get for Dallas because you know you had a chance. Even if it was Eli, we had a chance.
Obviously.
Now it's like, I know we don't have a chance. So let me look at specific players, specific position groups, and that's really what I'm looking forward to.
So you love the Dallas game. So speaking of our tailgates, one of the best. So I tailgate with my dad and his friends. So one of my favorite things about our tailgate spot, is that there's a guy, he's across the way. We've been tailgating next to him for like 20 plus years. Does not matter what the game is. He wears a white t-shirt every tailgate, every game that says Dallas sucks on the front of it. It does not matter.
When Dallas isn't even there.
No, it doesn't matter. It's every Sunday, every game he's there. It's just a plain white tee. I think he might have taken it to like the local t-shirt shop and got Dallas sucks printed on it. He wears it over his hoodie when it's below 20 degrees, things like that. So it's a game that we do always look forward to. So unfortunately, this first game this year just was completely awful. I'm hoping for a little bit more competitiveness, but I don't know what we're going to get.
Let's show fight. Just show fight.
Fight, anything. Scrappy.
It can be scrappy.
17-point underdogs. Let's cover that spread, huh? Right. That should be our goal. Let's cover the spread. Let's show fight.
Right.
Let's show fight. Show some heart. You know, have some pride for that blue jersey you're going to be wearing on Sunday with the NY on your helmet. Like, that's what I want to see. And these guys, a lot of these guys are going to be in our future plans. So I really want to see what they can do. And it's also a true testament to see how Brian Daboll is as a coach. If they just completely come out and get blown out 40-0 again, I'm going to be concerned. I don't care if Tommy DeVito is your quarterback. Game plan where just run the clock down, run the ball, stop them on defense. I would be concerned. So this Sunday, to me, it's all about fight and some of these guys, and especially the coaching staff, and how they can weather this storm.
All right. So we've got a big one this Sunday, but we've also got a long stretch for the rest of the season. How do you think the rest of the season plays out for us?
You're going to get mad at me.
That's okay.
I don't think we win another game.
Okay. It's tough. It's a hard pill to swallow.
It's brutal.
But it's realistic. And I think that's what scares me the most. I think last year, I think we hit a little hiccup last year with some losses in a row. I wouldn't have believed you.
Yep, we did.
No.
It's like the Coughlin days where we'd go 5-2 and then lose like 3 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, is it over? But no, it's not really over. We're good.
No, they bounced back. Yeah.
That's why I say it's a hard pill to swallow, because it's probably, this is the most realistic year for you to make that comment.
Yeah. That's just not negative me that
I'm not agreeing with you, but I'm saying that it could very much happen, and it's awful. It sucks.
It sucks. Let's say it fucking sucks.
It does
fucking sucks that we're
on
November 9th that we're talking about this now with 2 months left to go. Like, it's terrible.
I know.
I know you're just as sick as me. Like, it's not.
I know.
People, it's just a game. No, it's not just a fucking game.
Not.
Shut the fuck up. It's not just a game. It's so much more than just a game. I barely have an appetite anymore. Like, I know. It's horrible. You don't sleep. You don't eat. It's terrible. But
Yeah.
realistically, I think the Patriots game is the only game that I could see maybe competing in and winning because the Patriots suck.
They do, but they're like pulling off weird wins.
They
like,
are exactly,
yeah.
and we're not going to be able to score. That's the problem. So unfortunately,
that is at the end of the day the problem. Yeah.
I unfortunately I can't see another win. I really can't.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
The rest of the season, like me and you have been talking about, is really just watching these young guys play and develop. That's our biggest hope, and that they don't quit and they go out and they perform the way we think they can and we expect them to, and not just like mail it in like some other veterans would, which I can't blame them. It's a tough spot for them. But these young guys, we have a young core, and that's really all we can look forward to. I'd like one more win just to have like a little semblance of happiness, but
I gotta post one more video after they win.
One more, right? Yeah, one more.
Come on, I have so much fun doing those. So
one more. Well, 2-15, I think we would have the number one pick. So whether fans like that or not is beyond it. But yeah, it sucks.
All right. Well, speaking of sucking, this game tonight sucks. So we are moving into Thursday night football.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the Panthers and the Bears. Who's your pick for tonight?
The Bears are gonna win.
Okay.
I can't. Bryce Young looks terrible, and also
I know
you know
he doesn't look terrible. They're not like pinning him up for success.
No, they're not. No, that's a fair point. That's a very fair
Again,
point.
Another very talented player.
That's a very fair from Alabama. It's a very fair point. But I don't know. In what I've seen of him, I'm just not overly impressed. And then when I look at CJ Stroud, it's like,
well, he is also
this guy's like a 5-year NFL vet. Like,
you've only noticed that though in the last 2 to 3 weeks, though. CJ's first couple of weeks were not like that. So I always like to do that little asterisk here.
I get it, but the guy's got 15 touchdowns and 1 interception.
It's just these last like 3 games.
He did have 5 touchdowns last weekend. So
I
get it. But all right, so me and you, this is the den of honesty. If you would take a quarterback right now, it'd be CJ Stroud or Bryce Young to build your team. Like for the Giants, say he was on the Giants. We had a quarterback opening. Which one?
Well, so the interesting thing is that I'm not being biased. So I thought the Texans were worse off going into this season. So that's the only reason why I'd lean towards CJ Stroud, because I thought the Panthers, I don't think that they did a great job building around Bryce Young. But that's where my head is at, because I feel like the Giants are in this weird situation right now. And CJ Stroud is doing well despite the circumstances. So you'd need a guy despite the circumstances. So so for everyone out there, probably thought I'd pick Bryce Young. Screw you and screw you too. So I do not want. I don't like CJ Stroud, to be honest. So
no, I hated him. I did. Like, I don't trust any Ohio State quarterback. He's kind of bucking the trend right now. I give him credit. But again, like you said, it's 9 games. Let's
look
wait.
At it all.
And Bryce Young will be good. I think he's got a good.
He's got his first win under his belt. He's good. We're good. Everything's good. So,
but I think it should be a very entertaining dog shit game that that I need some DJ Moore fantasy points in. So.
All right. Well, Snacks, I always give my guests the chance to whine it out. That is going with the idea of third and wine and whining and complaining. But I feel like we have done that for the last 50 minutes. But if there's anything you'd like to complain about, I'd still like to give you the mic to whine it out with my audience.
I will. I would love to whine about. We're talking about another one of your boys, Xavier McKinney, and how much of a non-leader, non-captain that he is. It's making me sick, the comments that he's making.
Okay.
And then no. Don't start with me.
I'm just.
You can't disagree here.
I'm not. But can I say okay? Because I am feeling defeated from what he's done.
Fair.
It's
okay.
It's
Because
not.
you love McKinney. You love
I
McKinney.
do.
Yes.
He's my like ride or die.
I know.
And
I know. I've seen you tweet about him over and over and over.
I know. I have his jersey. I have his legacy jersey. So I swear to fucking God, if that jersey goes into my jersey graveyard, we're gonna do a whole episode of Third and Wine on time in my jersey graveyard. I need to stop buying jerseys. Okay.
I hate to tell you, I think it's going to your graveyard. I think this has been the final straw.
So I say okay to you with that face and that tone because I am fucking defeated.
Oh, I love it. Sorry.
No, you should.
I don't love it. No. I'm sorry. I don't love it. I love the enthusiasm.
Like,
I loved it.
Like
it
it
suck.
sucks.
He's a high end second
go
round
up
pick
to him
with so
and
much
smack
talent.
him across the face. Stop.
Like, what is he saying? And then you have Andrew Thomas, and then you have Bobby Okereke being like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, there's community. So what is he saying? I don't know if he's trying to cover up for his, sorry to tell you, his below average play and be like, oh, the coaches were not communicated well with. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Play better. You're a high end second round pick and you never play like that. You jumped off an ATV on the bye week. You didn't jump off. You got an ATV accident. You were out 6 weeks and you hurt this team. Shut the fuck up, Xavier McKinney. You're lucky to even be a captain. Scumbag. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
listen,
came out.
That's what the whole segment is about. You have to just let it out. Yeah. Okay. Your friend Chris P. Do not bring up Bryce Young's friggin' height. I swear to God.
What did he say?
This is not cool.
Oh, fuck you, Chris.
No, it has nothing to do with you, Sax.
No, I know, but whatever. It means I'm short.
Oh my God, relax. Who cares? So I get it. I'm with you on there. It's super defeating. I will say that I agree with the below average play. I would say for probably like the first 4 or 5 games of the season, though, he was all over the field. So like anytime a tackle was being made or something was going on, you saw the number 29.
Yeah. Agreed.
So he was there. And that'll just like I thank you for agreeing with me and anyone out there. Just go look at film. Like, I'm not going to argue with you. I've seen it. I already take notes. Like, go look at it. He's all over the place in the beginning of the season. I think lately we are seeing some more missed tackles are a big thing. Like, just take them, take them down. It's not that hard.
No, it's not. And to that note, literally, just take them.
Just take them down. Really, honestly, like I could do it. Like I feel like, I mean, I probably couldn't like take down a wide receiver in the NFL, but like maybe
if you trip them.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty strong, but we'll see. Like so.
I mean, you like I said, you're an Eagle fan, so it's I
am not.
Okay. No, she's not. It's an inside joke, everybody. Don't worry, it's an inside joke.
I think people can know that, but yeah, it's. I think that's where we're kind of turning right now, like the missed opportunities with him.
Bobby put out a video, and I'll give Bobby Skinner credit. He put out a video. He's like, "Look at this play. What do you see?" And it's Xavier McKinney literally just walking on the field as Jacoby Myers walks into the end zone. Like,
right?
Like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? Yeah.
What are we doing here? It sucks. And he's such a talented player. But
he is.
He really is. He's a very talented player, but he's
defeating. Yeah.
He's a guy that I could give 2 shits if he's on this team next year or not. Sorry. I think he's replaceable. And
you don't have to apologize.
He's a shitty leader, shitty captain, especially after this. I'm out. I'm sorry, Alabama. I'm sorry. I'm out.
No, I mean, you don't have to apologize to me. Sometimes I am in my own little world, so I do have to hear outside opinions. I think that there's been a lot of heat with Xavier this season that I've taken to heart. I mean, the same thing with Evan Neal. I think the most offensive thing I read was it might have been you. I swear to God, if it was you, comparing him to fucking Eric motherfucking Flowers. I swear to God. Was that you? Because I will literally jump through this laptop. There is no one. Okay, so let's do this first. So I hate Eric Flowers.
It was me.
But I also wasn't you. I swear to God.
I said he's worse than Flowers.
I swear to God. That is the most
I'm looking it up right now.
That is the most offensive tweet I've ever seen in my
I'm not wrong. Wait, can you get it? Does it? Oh, I don't know if it.
You're
works.
blurred. So I can't see. Okay, so that is like perfect.
You want me to read it? You want me to read what I said?
No, I don't want you to.
Oh, I'll read it. I said, flip hot dogs, flip hamburgers. He is so unbelievably horrible. I can't even wrap my brain around how bad he is. He fucking sucks. He is worse than Eric Flowers. I am blown away. Figured maybe the vitriol he got this week would fuel him. It didn't at all. In fact, he sucks worse.
So those are the rest of the tweet is fine. The Eric Flowers thing, like those are fighting words. So
I mean,
I will physically fight you at the next tailgate. You could just write it down, like get the date down already.
Listen, I'll hit you. I don't care. I will.
It's fine. I accept it. I'm the one who's threatening you right now.
Initiating it, yeah.
It's fair. It's
self-defense for me.
Yeah, of course. And people need to realize that. It's totally fine. So number one, I will fight you. Number two, there are like a handful of Giants like that I royally hate. Eric Flowers is definitely one of them. My all-time hate, I hate Eli Apple. Yeah. I hate Eli Apple.
He's number one.
God. He's literally number one. Like, literally number one.
Him and his mother.
Oh, God, both of them.
And his mother.
But Eric Flowers is just right there. And I just, the problem with Eric Flowers was that I called it like a couple weeks in. And I was like, this guy isn't doing it. And then we go into season 2. And then we're like, more seasons with Eric Flowers. And my thought was just, let's just bench him for a game. Let's see what happens. And that never happened. So
God forbid, right?
I just don't think that I'm at that point right now with Evan Neal. Like, let's just bench him for a game to see what happens, because we did technically bench him because he was hurt and nothing fucking happened. So
right. Well, that's true. And then look, now he's hurt again. So
I know, which is annoying, but everyone's hurt. So
but see, the thing is, all right. So, I think you were saying you want to wrap up, but I'll get off. I'll get off with it. Evan Neal's another guy. Like, I don't want Evan Neal to be hurt. I hate Evan Neal, but it's also his second year. Like, these last 10 games are very important. I want to see how he
does something.
How he does, if he does something, if he shows any improvement. He definitely improved a little bit last week, but I mean, he's still bad. We showed slight improvement from the dirt. Like, that was a big thing for me, and now he's hurt. Of course he's hurt.
Of course.
So what do we know? Nothing. And you're right. I think in the offseason they're going to move him to guard. They're going to try him there, and I do have a lot more confidence in him being a guard than a right tackle. So
yeah.
Like Kevin Bacon.
Well, fingers crossed. All right. So this has been such a therapeutic session. And I knew
thank you so much.
I needed to get you on. Like I said, as soon as the game ended last weekend, I messaged you immediately. And I was
you did. That's a true fact. I don't even think the last bell rang.
And I was like, it's time. I was like, I need you on, because while my podcast is all football, all things college, all things NFL, I needed to take one episode to talk about the Giants at this point. So I brought on, I think, the perfect person, because I'm like very much over here, you're here, but we met in the middle on so many different things. So
we did.
Love that.
You know my affection for you. You know I love you.
I know.
Although we could bust each other's chops all you want, but
I know, and I love you too. But Snacks, let the audience know, where can they find you if they want to read your ridiculous tweets and all that fun jazz.
Well, I don't know.
I think they want to read that.
Well, it gets ugly. Although
it does. It's
last year was really ugly when we were winning, because
it just for some reason you're worse. You're worse.
Yeah, right. No, it's there. Now it's just going to be, I'm just going to be dissecting players left and right. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck.
I think the people want to see it though.
Nikki Snacks _ just like that.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom.
Nikki Snacks _ Well,
yes,
Snacks,
correct.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Third and Wine. It was an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you coming out for the episode.
Well, Ken, I very much appreciate you having me on. Congrats again on the move. And I got to tell you, the name Third and Wine and your show in general has been awesome. So I'm very honored to have come on, and let's see some positives for the rest of the year. So thank you so much. And to everybody that listened, Thank you. And I promise if you follow me on Twitter and you think I'm out of my mind, just let me know because I'll tell you to fuck off. So
I love that sign off. Well, literally everyone, thank you so much for joining me for another episode. And I will catch you on the next time on Third and Wine. So here's to that. Fill up your wine glasses. Love it. Thank you. Good night.